Hello and welcome to the final round of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race in Live for Speed, the 269th edition, the final championship round of the 2021 season. Round 25 takes us to Fern Black XL Paved, a custom layout which is pretty long. We're looking at 4-minute lap times in qualifying. It's a pretty interesting track. It uses tarmac and also parts of the rallycross course, but they are paved with concrete. Owen Harmon joins me for the final time this season, so welcome aboard, Owen.
Thank you very much, Pete, and welcome along, everybody. It's been one heck of a season, stretching all the way from January to this very moment, so I'm looking forward to seeing who our champion shall be.
Yes, we have 26 rounds of RTFR this year, but only 25 of them count towards the Drivers' and Teams' Championship. The Drivers' Championship is still to be decided today, but the Teams' Championship was wrapped up long in the past, and it was Sidus who took the win emphatically, as we will see on the graphics very shortly. Let's have a look at the track tonight. It is a fun one. We have a lot of corners. I'm not going to bother reading them out because look how many there are around this course. We start off at the FE1 or FE3 home straight and we head north towards the beach. Then we head across the bridge section, all the way across the bridge section onto the outfield of FE4. Then we head back through the villa section, up through the little hairpin, and then into the FE5 Fern Bay Rallycross config before heading round the final few turns of Fern Bay Gold. Got all that? Are you ready for it? Let's do it. We have 7.8 kilometers of track, and we had 60 minutes of qualifying, which we'll bring the results up for in just a few moments' time, and then only 8 laps, Owen, because it's such a long track.
Yeah, we're really feeling the pinch if you make a big mistake. I know you've got time to make up, but it'll feel like an eternity with just those 8 laps to negotiate.
Yeah, we're using the XFG, the demo car in Live for Speed, the oldest car, I believe, in the sim. 1.3 litre inline-4 front engine, front-wheel drive car weighing just under a tonne, generating 115 brake horsepower. Everybody here should be familiar with that. Let's have a look at how the driver standings look going into this race. The all-important driver standings. It's Rick Cardle and his teammate Unite up at the front with Yoni Cotillo, World Class Lions True Alpha in P3, Mandulas P4, Botsy P5, and Gabor in P6. We'll let these scroll. It's the final time this year. This week, I believe they're in the correct order, Owen. That's always a good thing.
Certainly is, yeah. I'm sure some of the drivers will be feeling, if they haven't been around for a while, but they're in the broadcast this evening. I'm sure they'll be feeling a bit warm and fuzzy just seeing their name and confirming their place in RTFR lore, I suppose. There are plenty of names coming up, 100 something plus for definite. So yeah, you can see the range of people and the range of points. So yeah, all very good.
Yeah, we've got a lot. There's one or two more screens of people. But for the final time this year, thank you very much for competing in the main championship. We have one more round, of course, in 2 weeks' time. Round 26 will be a non-championship round. So here we go. One final screen, I believe. Might be two. It's going to be another one. There's two. So many drivers in this championship. But yes, it does span a year. So people turn up and then they do a few rounds and then decide to call it a day. 143. That is a good total. 143 unique drivers this year who scored points. So there we go. Let's have a look at how the Teams Championship sits as we head into this final round. Team Sidus have won the championship. Then we've got Race Green Autosports in second, World Class Lions third, Born to Race fourth, Master Race Car, Frag Masters, Sim Broadcast, Zafaralis, Father and Sons, and Alma Course rounding out the top 10, and Fortunato Racing Team in P11. Owen, let's have a look at how qualifying stacked up. The qualifying for this race was an hour long. And at the top of the timesheets, it was Rick Cardle ahead of his teammate Unite by just a tenth of a second. So it's as it stands in the Teams Championship going into this round. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's the ideal scenario. The top two are side by side. Doesn't mean the other drivers can't take away their positions. They're more than welcome to compete, but a fair fight, 1 and 2, that's logical to me.
Yeah, in fact, the gap at the front is quite a lot more than a tenth of a second. So my apologies for that, but there we are. It's rather a void, Owen. That is
1.9
a huge gap at the front over such a large lap. Yeah, so there we have the top 20 in the qualifying standings. Here's the second page. Not a full grid, but 31 drivers taking on this Nürburgring-esque track in LFS. Yeah, it is quite a good grid for this one. Owen, let's get going for the race and see how this race unfolds. Owen, let's go for the start of the race. 1 of 8 laps about to get underway, and it's Rick Cardle on the front row.
Yes, indeed. He knows what he has to do to become champion. Beat my teammate, and that's the name of the game.
Here come the lights for the start. We have all the lights, and we are green as all the drivers make their way off the grid for the final time this season. And Rick Cardle immediately under pressure from his teammate Unite as they run down to turn 1. What's going to happen in the background, I wonder here, as they file through. All looks clean so far. Unite, yeah, he's going for a move already here into the chicane. And we've got a 3-wide situation developing in the background. That's not going to go well at all, is it? Let's be honest. As we head through the chicane, and we've got a bunch of cars. Oh, we've got a big contact in the background.
Gigantic contact in the back.
Now we had some issues there. 7-9 is out of the race at the back. Meanwhile, Rick Cardle's managed to retain the lead, heading down into the first sector of the lap. We have a huge wait before the first sector times here. Because of course this is a super long track. So here's the first part of the track that changes. We go over this concrete bridge before we head into the back part of the FE4 circuit. It is Rick who, absolutely dominant in
3-1
qualifying.
in the background there, yeah. Falcon on the inside for the right-hander.
Yeah, and Pekka Koivunen, a name we haven't seen for a long time in RTFR, actually. He's back in this race. He's in P6 right now and looking to make another move on Falcon, who's jumped up the order since the start.
So from about Rony downwards, there is a big enough gap at the back due to that accident. We have a side-by-side here. Jocks trying to have a look. No look just yet. Redbot defending handily enough there. Climbs and Rony in the background. Just got to watch out for this concrete wall. Haichiroku, Redbot make contact with it, but not so bad.
Yeah, that wall there is infamous for cars slamming into it, especially when the tyres get hot later in the race. This is a tricky track, and every single part of it is paved with either tarmac or concrete, so the tyres are going to get fairly warm, I imagine, by the end. Jock still trying to make this move. Further up, we've got some changes. We've got the world-class Lions driver, Soini, leading Jari Katello. A good qualifying session, that, for Soini. He is in P11 driving well.
Indeed, he's gone a bit wide at that corner. We have a kid just on the screens now, warning the drivers to use their brake pedal. Let's check out Rony for a sec against Climbs, heading down the enormous back straight before heading the rallycross section, now paved with concrete, as Pete referred to in the build-up. There you go. Should be a bit confusing for the drivers, maybe on this first lap, if they're trying to defend. They know if they go too far wide, they're going to be stuck in the tires on the gravel, so they don't want that at all.
The camera swings to Rick Cardle, who makes his way through onto the rallycross section, but there's no gravel here today, and this is a really interesting interesting track, because none of the drivers before today really would have raced on the rallycross section with tarmac down. So quite a fun idea, this. Rick Cardle has a decent lead, but he's not running away as convincingly from Unite as he did in qualifying. Remember that absolute massive gap he had at the end of qualifying. Kid into the wall. Thamudi goes through, or rather holds his position for now. And the world-class Lions drivers behind, they're looking racy. Yari's managed to get past Soini. And as we head into the final sector of the lap, looks like Soini might be under pressure from Lorenzo, someone who would probably have hoped to have qualified slightly higher in this race, Owen, given his recent performance.
Yeah, he's been in good form in the last couple of weeks. He's actually got a Citroen Saxo WRC livery, one of the, a little bit of a spin-off of it, but yeah, the Saxo wasn't a particularly quick car back in the day, but it's a cult hero, I think.
Yeah, he's made the move on Soini. Soini's been pushed wide, and that's going to let Cozzy sneak through, and perhaps even Michael Malek and Magic there driving for Race Green.
Yeah,
another fast
Skoda coming through now. Yeah, good move.
Maranui gets through there.
Oh, Timu has to resort to the sausage curbs. He held it.
Good stuff. Huge gaggle of cars coming across start finish. Look at that, and we're only on lap 2 now. 4-minute lap times expected throughout the race here. Redbot sends right to the inside. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Redbot's in the dire position. He has to yield for the outside line of the chicane. And then Magic is on his tail as well. So good maneuvering there from all those drivers. Just got to keep their heads on for the rest of the laps.
Bad to worse for Soini here. He's dropping like a stone. He's about to be overtaken by Rony. But at the front, we are approaching a second gap. But look at the void between the two Siders cars and Iron Donny. It's already nearly 2 seconds. In fact, it is 2 seconds, that gap.
Yeah, Pete with the magical tape measure there got it spot on. But it's Ricardo doing the job here. Even second place would be satisfactory, but he wants to achieve the championship as a winner. Leave no doubt in anyone's mind. Just going to see if there are any more contests. Yeah, I see Yarkatilla battling away here against our very own Kid. This is the pitter-patter part of the track. You've really got to be careful with respect to your opponents. And here comes the giant concrete wall. Kid is at a disadvantage here, but Yari almost took too much curb. Lorenzo will thank him for that. gaining the position without too much pressure. But then Cossie in the background as well gained, so very unfortunate for Jari.
Yeah, Yari went for the move there. It was a good place to go for the move, but just didn't quite get the exit you needed, and that's what happens when you do such a thing. All the drivers are going to be going up the first part of the Villa section and seeing the two Sidus cars leagues ahead, driving basically on their own here. Donny doesn't know what to do. He's 2.6 seconds behind now. That is impressive pace from the top two, as we've seen all year. Deserved teams champion winners, dominant fashion.
Yeah, it's one of the most comprehensive victories you'll ever likely to see in such a championship, 25 rounds. And it's just going to get larger and larger with a 1-2 in the books so far.
Yeah, here we see Pekka Koivunen lining up Falcon, but we hear it's close up the front. Again, yeah, they are nose to tail now, Owen, and this could get interesting. Unite is not done this season. The points gap is such that he'll have to do something quite spectacular, and Rick will have to do something quite spectacularly wrong to lose out on the overall championship. But yeah, here we go. These two nose to tail, managing to have a fight, but still retaining that huge lead over the rest of the field. 3.6 seconds now, the gap back to Donny.
Yeah, you would have seen a few moments ago those red and white curbs. They're deceptively very, very steep curbs. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go too close to them, will get rolled. So that's something to bear in mind for these drivers. They've been very smart so far, making sure they get through the racing line without hitting the curb. So that could be one threat to a championship coronation for Rick. But Unite just has to carry on fighting as hard as he can, using all of his knowledge and skill, and see if he can get that lead for himself.
Yeah, I reckon Unite's going to have a good shot here, but we have moving in the background too. Donny has dropped back into the clutches of Oscar, World Class Line's current top driver. Pekka Koivunen will be looking to make moves too. He's still stuck behind Falcon, but coming onto the home straight now, Donny, he had a good exit there, Owen, which means Oscar's slipstream is going to be not as strong as he would have liked going into the first corner.
No, unfortunately not. With the XFGs, you really want to be lining up your moves and getting everything you can out of it. But if you're even probably 0.4 of a second behind, you're not going to get much effect. Now Arsko definitely sensed something from Donny here. Again, this is one of the parts of the track where you won't get much side-by-side running. So you just have to find the superior momentum and get himself lined up for one of the sharper bends or the straights.
Yeah, Unite, fascinating that he has the fastest lap, but still not able to get past Rick. Where was that pace in qualifying, Unite? Because if he'd have stuck it on pole, seems like he would have been running away with this. Anyway, Oscar has a bit of a slipstream as he heads down towards the end of this enormous bridge that's been constructed here. Still not close enough to make the move. And a bit wide on the entry. Not necessarily a bad thing because it tightens up towards the middle part of this chicane complex. So again, a nice line through there, but compromised himself on the exit by going in too shallow, and that's hurt him badly.
Yeah, he's still got enough of a gap over Spurts in 5th place for air attack. But yeah, he just needs to push on and not worry about too many understeer moments. It's inevitable in this kind of car. Cossie, who benefited on the last lap, now is under pressure from the man who made the mistake at this corner. Cossie's on 2 wheels. Oh, he's hit the barriers and is out of the race. So turnabout is fair play. Jari Katila didn't retire as a result of cutting the corner too sharply, but Cossie has.
Yeah, well, that's what can happen if you hit that corner. We don't often see cars going in there on their side or on their roof. Normally, what we see is cars just smashing into the wall because they've either hit the curb wrong or, just don't have the tyres for it. A move in the background also, Michael Malek going on the outside, and that was Merenwe in this Nyan Cat livery making the move. So he's up to P13 when they cross the sector time. We'll see that update.
That's Jocks as well here, Pete. Michael's really having a tough time in this sector. But I think he's got the drive out the corner to save him, but Now the rallycross section will reset this battle for a moment. Most drivers are used to turning left to go down the straight, but in this case, we'll be on the rallycross track. Tire stack has been hit, not onto the right racing line. Michael a little bit deep. He hit a slight dip on the outside line, but now Redbot is attacking. Jox is able to hold on for now, but he may have just missed the braking. He went too deep. Redbot now has a look on what could be the inside line for the next right-hander. It's only a bit of a crest of a bend before sharp braking point. But these curbs, again, you've really got to be careful. Yeah, I think he noticed what was going to happen. So, survival for Jox this time around.
Yeah, this is great stuff. And if you're looking to get involved in the Rony's Tuesday Fun Race in 2022, I believe plans are taking shape for next year's season. Some interesting things being proposed there, but there we are. Who's that in the background? Was Hashiroku having some excursions, Owen? So yes, if you want to get involved in RTFR in 2022, then this is the sort of action you can expect. There's competition for everybody on this grid. You're not going to be without competition, and just look at the competition at the front. 6 seconds now, the gap, Owen, as we have these two, Hashiroku, side by side with Magic.
Yeah, Magic has moved on. Rony is going to observe this battle, see what happens next. But yeah, Hashiroku just a little bit off kilt on that lap, so you'll just have to try again.
Great stuff. At the front, Rick Cardle still leads with a 6/10 of a second gap at the line. Then it's Ian Donny, who still managed to keep it ahead of Asker, but not by much, only 7/10 there. Then it's spurts for Air Attack. He's kind of had a quiet race so far. He's in P5 with Falcon and Pekka Koivunen hot on his heels, looking to make a move in the hills section of the lap. Let's see if he can make this one stick anywhere towards the bridge. This is a nice place to be following a car. And it's nice because the driver ahead is going to be glancing in the mirrors at very crucial parts of the sector. And in fact, yes, drops a wheel on the grass. That's going to be good for Pekka because he can now line him up for the pass down the straight.
Yeah, Falcon makes his commitment to what will become the inside line for the right-hander. But it's such an enormous straight boosted by this artificial bridge. But Pekka has the outside. Can he keep it?
Oh, that's a good effort. That's a really nice effort. Fantastic move. That's brilliant. Wow. Holding it around the outside there on an experienced driver like Falcon, that was an excellent move. Yeah, glad we caught that one. That's an excellent move. That's difficult to do. I mean, that's really hard.
Yeah, you bet. It really took the proper judgment into the braking zone, and then he needed to apply the correct steering and also the trust of his competitor to make sure they both made it through in the end. So well done.
Yeah, that's the sort of action we've missed from Pekka Koivunen. He was around for the beginning of the championship, as we see Falcon popping it over the curbs. But yeah, this is the first time he's been here in a while for the finale. Igor here, one of the newest drivers with an S2 license, or maybe an S3 license, but nevertheless an LFS license here in P8. So showing everybody what he's got.
Yeah, he has a handy enough gap behind, so you can just push on and chase Falcon. But Redbot, far from comfortable here with his teammates on the charge here. So he has to just focus on what he's doing without really relenting too much. Otherwise, Hachiroku will get the three of them.
Yeah, there's 3 race green drivers here, and all of them are in a fight with Hachiroku and themselves. Rony looks like he's going to be side by side with Magic going into the infield section, and in fact, he's moved ahead temporarily. He's gone deep. It's going to allow Magic back through, and maybe Hachiroku around the outside. Is it? Oh, he's going to try it, but not enough grip.
Oh, a little bit of lag there, unfortunately. With the horsepower, just couldn't get through the tight bend and put the power down. Oh, he's going to have a bump with Rony, but nothing seriously out of order. So he's now, he's been psyched out. Climbs has pushed him. He used the bit of momentum there, and he's outbidded him into that corner. So it's going to be the ultimate one car at a time corner here. One less. Oh, that is courageous. Ichiroku really working hard to keep the car in position. Oh, there's going to be a nudge there as well. Team Usaini joins in the party too. So, is there anything we do? Oh, that's too sharp into the corner where the little mini wall was waiting for him, but it looks like he got away with it.
Yeah, he certainly did. Rick Cardle's found another gear. He's taken the fastest lap on the previous lap, and he's coming up to start lap 5. With this, we'll be halfway through the final round of the 2021 season of Rony Tuesday Fun Race, and he has a 1.5 second gap currently over his main championship rival and teammate, Nico Pantola, who comes across the line 1.2 seconds adrift.
Yeah, it will feel like nothing at all, but it is a healthy enough lead for Rick. Just needs to, just needs to carry on basically. But Arska in 4th place, doing a very commendable job, and Spurts in 5th. So these drivers have really taken this enormous challenge to heart, and they're doing a fantastic job of it.
Yeah, Pekka Koivunen has dispatched with Falcon and is now chasing after Spurts. We have a battle with Merenwe and Jari Katila slightly further behind. These two just coming through the first chicane. Jari leading Merenwe just now. But yeah, credit to Donny there. 8 seconds adrift, yes, but still best of the rest. And best of the rest in this field is a big thing, Owen, because we have some very experienced names on this list.
That is for true, yeah. Just beside us again, we say it every single time. They're just so supremely talented. They're able to hoover up the wins, but the drivers that are competing for the other places, they shouldn't be discounted either. Lots of experience and know-how. It's just whatever happens on the day can dictate their overall sort of momentum in the championship.
Yeah, everything's kind of settled down in this battle from P15 down to about P20. Some gaps opening up now as we approach the end of this one. But Unite's found another gear again. He's closed that gap back down to 1 second now. Yep, indeed. Does he have anything left? Can he try and catch up to Rick again before the end and get past? Maybe it's a long old lap this. So preying on mistakes, preying on Rick burning through his tyres, which is certainly unlikely. Rick is supremely talented and has proved that time and time again this year. And Unite has had an up and down season, but still managed to stay in touching distance of this title.
Yes, indeed. When the mistakes unfortunately did happen for Unite, they did certainly unsettle his potential. I know in I think a West Hill round it went wrong on him when he had a great opportunity. This is the do or die moment. He would just he'd be very content with the win just to say, I'll get you next time. He's just going to push his teammate with everything he's got for the remaining laps. Just takes a double of the curb, no problem there. And he's gained another 2/10, Pete. So this is going to be very close, but let's move on now. We have a battle on our hands.
Yeah, Merenwe versus Jari Katila again. This has been brewing for a while. Let's see if Merenwe can get past the elder of the two Katillas. It does appear as though Yoni Katila isn't here. Harry doing the deed for their particular family. But yes, Merenwe, he's going to try and line him up and try and get past at some point. Let's ride on board with him as he heads through this little chicane. The cars do tend to kick up a lot of dust through this section. Very dusty on the Fern Bay Rallycross track, even on the tarmac. Jari hitting the curb with a little bit of force, getting in the air. But good exit again. Merenwe perfectly placed though to make a move into the next corner after this double left, if he can stay in the slipstream.
He takes as much of the apex as he can.
Yeah, Yari feeling the need to go slightly defensive to ward off any attack. He's gone a bit deep. Merenwe's going to try and line him up onto the home straight then. And this is a really nice place to line your opponent. That might have been a bit early to attack. Yeah, you had to get on the brakes. You don't want to be getting on the brakes at any point around here. And that is now neutralized.
The fight will continue, but the top two protagonists are very close again. It's surely no more. Yeah, you can see half a second when they cross the line. And it's only getting smaller. So this is Unite's grand opportunity to take the final victory of the championship season. I don't think he's quite close enough on Rick here. Speed differential, yeah, it's absolutely minimal. So I can't see Unite being able to get side by side in time. He could definitely make an impression here on Rick, braking at about 80 meters down to third gear. That's beautiful entry. Rick maybe a little bit worse off there. He recovers it though.
But yeah, Rick's slightly wider and he's gone on the grass. That's going to compromise him on the run. It's all about the gear changes now. Unite using a manual gear setting in LFS. Here comes the big wall. This is not an ideal place to follow someone in the cars with higher downforce. It's not so bad in the in this XFG. Rick got that slightly better than Unite and therefore has opened the gap again slightly. There's nothing between these guys. There is 9 seconds between them now and the rest of the field. It's a different level. I mean.
Yeah, it boggles the mind sometimes. I don't know how they do it, but they will certainly keep their cards close to their chests. They know the little advantages grow and grow as a long race goes by, and they're certainly proving that now with a huge lead over the likes of Iron Donny. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. I think Unite is better off in the faster corners, but now we're heading into the rallycross section that require lots of braking and lots of steering. So I think that'll benefit Rick for the moment.
Yeah, these guys have sealed the team's championship, and they are guaranteed to seal the drivers' championship as well. It just depends which one of them will lift that title. At the moment, it looks like Rick Cardle is going to lift it, but anything can happen in RTFR. And we have seen our fair share of drama at the front. These two have been trading fastest laps the whole race. Unite currently holds it. There are no points for the fastest lap. It's only the position on track that matters at the end. But yeah, look at this void now. Even though these two are fighting, they're managing to stay well ahead of the rest of the field.
Yeah, they're nearly towards the penultimate lap. Another minute or so. Donny looks to be comfortable, but in fact, spurts. Oh, spurts on 2 wheels there. You hit the curbs too high. Koivunen was in the vicinity, managed to avoid contact, but can now go for the inside line into this next rallycross chicane, and he's got it.
So finally Koivunen's caught up to Spurts and has got past. He had the pace early on in the race and gradually clawed his way, and in the end it was a mistake from Spurts that's given him the opportunity to get past. These two are going to be glued to each other, and just behind them we've got Thamuli and Igor going wheel to wheel as well. Thamuli driving for ZFRL. A late addition to the championship was ZFRL, but they've had a good innings. They've put a few drivers in the cars this season. We've got LG Meese down in 26th and Thamuli here in P9. So yeah, definitely mixing it with the best that the series has to offer very early on.
Yeah, this is a stellar run for the Thamuli. As good as it's probably been for his participation in the championship. Falcon on screen there has a comfortable enough lead forwards and backwards. Now we're heading to the midfield pack, and it's Jocks versus Michael as they are about to complete lap number 6, turning into lap number 7. Jocks get a good exit out of this final chicane, and he could be on his way to an inside line move, but I think it's covered off for the moment. Yeah, he'd be tempted to look, but yeah, he might be too little.
It's a bit too far back, isn't it? Two laps to go here. Jocks needs to find some Oh, that was late on the brakes, but just about got it slowed down before he hit the back of Michael. But very nicely done. In fact, he'll be glued to his tailgate as they head through this chicane. Really difficult in any car in Live for Speed, that chicane, because the curbs are so high that they can unsettle anyone. And it looks like Jox had a slightly slower chicane than Michael, and that will be neutralised for now. 1.1 seconds are in the gap at the front between these two.
Yeah, something ought to have happened that Rick got his A game on, as if he wasn't playing an A game already, but it's proving a little bit too much for Unite now. He had it down to 3 tenths per second. Now it's back up to 1 full second. So it might be time just to consolidate that win. Doesn't need to risk too much, unlike Jox here, who is ready to attack. Michael does hold on for the moment. Redbot, again, would love to see an opening and gaining 2 positions. It's going to be the climb up the crest here. This right-hander shouldn't be too much trouble as they merge into single file. Now the temptation. No, he's not going to go for it.
No, that's definitely tempting. Yeah, desperate move. We've seen that go wrong twice today. Yannick Attila got it wrong, and then who was it who went in the wall? Was it Cozzy who went in the wall and retired from the race? So Jox then will drop back into the clutches of Redbot and Magic, and we'll see what goes on there. But yes, some good fights up and down the field here today, and putting on a show for us in the final round of the season. Always good to see. Yeah, Redbot's really got an opportunity here on Jox, taking the wider line in. Jox forced to take the slower inside line for this hairpin. Very different lines from both of these drivers, trying to size each other up. Redbot will have a run here. He had a slightly nicer, wider line in and out of the corner, but not really much of an opportunity into the rallycross stage. Later on the brakes again for Redbot.
Oh yeah, he got a great entry into that corner. Hit a patch of grass. Actually, was pretty much spot on. Yeah, he's doing very well here. Jox, though, has the positioning that he needs. Yes, it's right in the middle of the corner. Doesn't need to go close to the barrier. It's still enough for Redbot, who's following the ideal racing line, to block his path. But now, maybe, that gravel on the outside didn't prove to be a threat to Jox, but definitely Redbot feels comfortable in this sector of the track. But unfortunately, just cannot get through on pure pace.
Iron Donny considering continuing to do a stellar job in P3, 12.5 seconds off the lead, but importantly, he's opened up a 4-second gap to Oscar. Oscar was looking fast at the beginning, but now he's under pressure from his teammate, who's climbed his way up from the lower parts of the top 10 throughout this race, now in P5, and looking fast. I reckon he can get this done by the end. 1 lap to go, which means 4 minutes of racing.
And there's a very damaged car here, Pete. It belongs to Genius in 24th, 25th position, just in the infield section. Yeah, you can see a lot of rear end damage. That's allowed X-Toff by. So I think now that those drivers are ahead, I think he's just coast to the finish as best he can. If there's still enough power, he can make it. But he doesn't fancy playing the safe game.
Yeah, these guys are having a great time denting each other's cars. Nice. We often see this, that the closest battles in RTFR happen right at the back of the racing action. So again, another argument for why you should join RTFR next year. There is a battle for everyone, and probably one of the most improved drivers this year is Iron Donny. He has impressed everybody, I think, with his performances. Owen, if you remember back to the first time we saw him in this series, he wasn't up there, but throughout the year, his progression has been remarkable.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, I can't remember all the way back, but certainly there will be times where we were saying, "Oh, it's a shame for Donny." Maybe midfield battle ended up going against him or something like that. But this is a courageous drive for the 3rd position. And we'll hopefully see him again in 2022. But Redbot versus Jocks has one more twist in the tail, perhaps. Side by side into the braking zone. Jocks will use as much of that inside curb as he can. Yes, he uses a lot of it. And unfortunately, Redbot understeered wide for this next left-hander. And Magic in range 2. So 4 cars representing 3 teams all competing. But who's going to flinch at this most tricky of corners? No one flinches, so all sensible play there. Oh, maybe Redbot
the
a little
wall.
too fast, hits the wall. Magic is going to overtake him there.
Yeah, that's another mistake at the infamous wall in Jamaica as another car ahead pops it on 2 wheels. Fantastic battles up and down the field, but we are on the final lap and we are into the final few corners. And it is Rick Cardle who is doing everything he needs to do to win this race just now. Thamuli, Igor, and Kid in a fight here, going down to the wire for almost every position on this in this race. Igor going for the move. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to be later on the brakes? No, slightly earlier. But that's kind of spooked Thamuli a bit. He's gone a bit deep. Kid also looking to gain an opportunity. So Igor's eyes are in the back of his head, the front of his head. Chameleon in that car. But yeah, he's dropped back now from Thamuli. Thamuli's P9 looks pretty secure if Kid keeps hassling the back. Sorry, yeah, Thamuli's P8, in fact, is secure. Michael Jockson, Magic, and Redbot, in fact, similar situation behind, scrapping for the final few places inside the top 15. But let's turn our attention to this man, Rick Cardle, who has only 3 corners to go before he will lift the Drivers' Championship trophy, and him and his team will celebrate a conclusion to this season that has just been dominant, Owen. Unite's been with him every step of the way. They'll be only a handful of points apart when we show you the final standings at the end. But here we are. The man of the hour, the man of the year, Rick Cardle for Sidus rounds the last corner and wins round 25 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race to win the Drivers' Championship this year, and with it, the prize money associated with that accolade. Unite only 0.7 of a second. He will take P2 in the overall championship. Amazing job from Sidus this year, all year long, and congrats to Rick Cardle on the championship.
Here. Many congratulations from myself as well. It's been a season of memories and absolute wonder, I have to say, for Rick and Team Sidus. It's all accumulated now. He's got the championship secured for himself.
Yeah, a few fights to the line. Donny comes home to secure an excellent podium, another to add to his collection this season. P3. Asker and Koivunen bring home P4 and P5. The sponsor of this series, we're very grateful for the sponsorship that was put towards the RTFR and RTFR XL championships this year by the World Class Lions team. So a deserved top 4 and 5 for them. Spurts for Air Attack P6. Race Green's Falcon, the highest of the hosts, in P7. Thamuli for ZFRL comes across the line in P8. Igor and Kid round out the top 10. Then we've got Lorenzo, who might be a bit disappointed with that one, to be fair, coming home in P11. Then it's Merenwe 12th, Yari Katila in P13, Michael Malik 14th, Jox 15th, Magic 16th, Redbot 17th, Rony 18th, Hashiroku P19, Timu Soini P20, and Climbs currently the last finisher in P21, but we are expecting a few more drivers, of course, such a long lap here.
Yeah, LG Meese and 7-9 are very close together, even as the race is going to finish up for them in a sec.
Yeah, Rick Cardle will leave the pits and make his way around to the podium area. And while he does that, we can grab a word with him. Rick, we're watching you drive around to your victory lane. Congratulations to you and your team for the teams championship. Sorry, and congrats for your drivers championship win this year.
Yeah, thank you. It was a really great season, and I enjoyed it very much. Also the fight with Unite and the Katia. Yeah, it was a good season. Very
Yeah.
long.
Very, very long, hard work in the end. Was it ever in doubt? Did you think that Unite stood a chance against you to get the drivers' championship away from you in the end?
Well, at the end of the season, I was a little bit unlucky at times, running out of fuel at West Hill, still managing P7, I think. So from then on, I was thinking, making no errors and bring it home. But also this last race, the focus was more on not roll the car and just finish and take P1. It's always nice.
Yeah, you took P1. Well, this is a very interesting track, I have to say. It was quite fun when watching this. I think you'll agree. A bit different, but what would be, you say, your standout moment of the year in RTFR for you? What did you enjoy the most this year?
I don't know really.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe some of the races this year didn't always go your way. You had quite a lot of stiff competition, even though in the end it was a dominant win for your team.
Yeah, the big fights are always nice. I enjoy running away first, of course, because it's nice. But uh, fighting for positions and for the win is the best feeling, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions, Owen, for our championship winner?
Well, you asked the one I was going to ask, but I suppose as champion, what would you recommend? Like, why should people sign up for RTFR in 2022? What would you say to any newcomers?
I've been doing these events for some years, and it's always a nice feeling to race here with nice people. And uh, yeah, you join the race, you ask for some setups, and we will send them. It's no problem. It's all for the fun. So just compete, and you'll see where you come out. Yeah.
Very good, Rick. Thanks for that, and congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
congrats,
you
Rick.
very much for the streams, guys. We enjoyed it a lot, and also thanks from you, Unite. He's been busy, I think now, so he said to me, "I have to thank you as well," and also thanks to Ronnie and Jari Katilia for the events and sponsoring, of course.
Yes, of course, some prize money for your team and for you, especially as the winner. So yes, thanks again to Yari and World Class Lions for that, and of course to Rony, who puts in so much effort for this series. That is the end of RTFR's championship for 2021. We do have one race left. It is a non-championship race on in 2 weeks' time, in fact. And will you be there for that, Rick?
I will try. What combo it will be, you know?
I am not sure. I can find out. Give me one moment. We will try and get that information. I'm not sure it's been confirmed yet, so we'll have to wait. No, it hasn't been confirmed yet to us. So yes, we'll have to wait and see. But yes, 2 weeks' time for round 26, the non-championship round. We'll be there covering all the actions. So we hope to see you then. Congrats again, Rick, and we'll chat to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Rick Cardle there, Owen. Give me your thoughts. Give me a summary of that, and if you can, if it's possible, to your season.
Yeah, summary of today. I think the drivers did a superb job. They managed to hang on in there for the enormous lap time. Like, we didn't see that many casualties, maybe 3 or 4 at most. So it was some of the highest quality driving I've seen in the series so far. Really well done to everybody. But as we've seen, our long-awaited champion has been crowned, and that is Rick Cardle. So he should be very proud of himself that he can now concentrate on anything else he might want to do, or obviously coming up to the new year, he might want to have a few days to himself with his family or anything like that. So that's brilliant for him. And of course, Sidus as a unit were absolutely stupendous. Barely crack in the armor. They were so good. In the season itself, we've seen just about everything Live for Speed has to offer, whether it be some of the small tracks in the MRT, the very, very small car, and then we've gone to these enormous tracks as well with the custom layouts. They're all very fascinating to watch. But yeah, it's a great way to give people a chance if they're more experienced, they might want to drive different cars they might normally get to do, or if the newcomer, they can try LFS out and see where they stand. So lots of fun. That's the name of the game, and I'm looking forward to the next year.
Yes, thank you very much, Owen. You've been an asset all year long in the box and providing some great commentary throughout. So thank you very much. And I echo your sentiments. It's been a fantastic year of close racing. And Rick Kyle pushed all the way to the end by his teammate Unite. We cannot ignore that. So yes, let's take a look at the final standings for RTFR in 2021. First of all, the Drivers' Championship. Oh, that was a bit quick. Anyway, let's start that again. Yeah, all's going well here in the box today. It doesn't look like it's going to do it for me, but yeah, we'll get that information back up for you in a moment, and we'll let these slide by. So if you see your name again on this list, congratulations for a fantastic season. It's been great, and we've enjoyed watching it. And yeah, if your name's on here, then you were a part of it, and we have you to thank as well. More than 140 drivers competing throughout the year, and yeah, if you see your name, congrats on your finishing position, and we hope to see you in 2022. Stay tuned on all of the social medias and on the LFS forum for news of what's happening with RTFR next year. Surely some exciting plans. And once it's done, we'll head over to the finalised team standings to see whether everything is all square, as it was at the end. At the beginning of this. So we're nearly there, Owen.
Yeah, I can just remember the winning championship gap was 10 points. That's very, very insignificant in the grand scheme of things. 25 races and an enormous pot of points to compete for. So there you are, 5-3-2 to 5-2-2.
Oh, 10 points.
That's very, very, very small. Like, it could have changed in about 2 or 3 different rounds, depending on the outcomes.
Absolutely. Well, Mandula there in P4 and Yoni Katilla in P3. A shout out to them, of course. But here are the team standings. It was Siders from Race Green, from World Class Lions, Born to Race, Master Race Car, Fragmaster, Sim Broadcast, Safaralis, Father and Sons, Alma Course, and Fortunato Racing Team. Those were the teams that were competing this year, and we thank everybody involved. Absolutely awesome. Siders, look at that gap. Almost, double the points and some of Race Green. Just absolute dominance. That's all from us this week, and we have just one more round left of RTFR this year. We do have an XL race coming up as well, so we hope you can join us for that. From all of us here at Sim Broadcast, we hope you enjoyed this one, and we hope to see you next year and in the next RTFR and XL that we have coming up on the channel. From all of us here to all of you, have a good one. See you next time.
Bye-bye.